Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. I want to thank you so very much for clicking on my videos. I really do appreciate your time. Alright, so you may all remember my video where I made a purple stuffy horse that was a low sew horse by Crochet with Kyra. And I wanted to make one that was realistic colors for my neighbor's horse and sort of match the colors a little bit with her. So I already showed you the cream and the brown colors that I got to match the horse. One is called, the brown is called Cappuccino and the cream color is called Winter White, even though it's like not white. But I was waiting to find a hoof color. She has very black hoofs and her nose has some brown in it, or some grayish color that I thought I was going to incorporate, but I decided not to. So I wanted to buy the gray, and I was looking at a couple of different Michael's stores and could not find it. And so I realized that maybe it was something that I could only find online. And I thought that I bought this color as well. This one is called Elderberry, and it's sort of a purple. When I was looking at it online, it looked sort of like a brownish sort of color, but in person it's very kind of purple. So I decided that wasn't going to be in this project, but I will enjoy using it with other things. I liked this yarn very much. It's called Loops. It's by Loops and Threads, and it's called Petite Purl. As you can see, it's polyester, and so it's really, really soft, and it's a 4-weight. So instead of, having to work with a big, fat, bulky yarn, this was very nice. Not that working with a bulky yarn is not nice. But so I started working on it, and when I made the purple one, I had written all the pattern out, and when I went back to start making this one, I was caught up, like I wasn't following it right. I got myself confused in a couple of places. So when I initially made the foot, so here's an example of the way I was doing, like the hoof, and then the horse has like white socks and then her brown color. And so here's where I did not do something right, but I thought that that was the way that the hoof was supposed to go. And I'm like, okay, so I understuffed it so that we could continue to push on that hoof, but I knew like something wasn't right with that. So when I made the second foot and clearly made it right, and it looks like a hoof, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that now. So I made my 2 front feet, or they're called arms on the pattern. And I realized, like, as I closed them up, I didn't line up the seam with the seam here, and it was bugging me. In addition to that, like I said, I was getting myself confused, and you can see here, like on the back foot, I made this one taller because I wasn't like clearly reading my pattern and stuff. And that was like the night before. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to start fresh. I rewrote the pattern. So I felt like I was in school taking notes, but it was very, very clear and much easier for me to follow myself where I was. And so I started all over from the beginning, and I actually finished her in one day. I'm pretty excited about it. I went back and I watched my video of where I made the purple one to see what things I could change or try to do differently. And I'm really, really in love with her. So look how cute. I changed the position of the ears, and I think that that was really a big part of it. Before, I was feeling like if I moved the ears from where the tutorial was telling me to put them, then they felt like a donkey's ear, and so mine ended up floppy, but these ended up really good. I saw like a pinching of, I took my long sew-in thread and kind of notched that together, cinched that together a little bit so that they would kind of look like ears like that. And then the other different thing that I did was the tail. On the purple horse, I created a braid out of some long strands and then kind of sewed it on, and I really didn't like it. So in this case, I made it easier for myself. When you start down here at the base and you go round and round, and then you sew the legs into place, or crochet them into place as you're going around the body. And so when I got to where I wanted the tail, I just did a chain and then single crocheted back along the chain and slip stitched and created another couple you know, and created 3 on there. You can make it as bushier as you want to be, I guess, or as long as you want it to be. And then I tried to do something different with the top, with a mane as well, and I didn't like the way it was going, and I really want to get this finished so I can get it over to them. So I went ahead and just put the curly tops the way the purple one has, you know, the same hairstyle. So I kept kind of working with the eyes and the face a little bit, trying to make it look as cute as I could, and the little nostrils get to be a little bit sunken down. It's really important to see them. I think it's a great detail piece to it. So again, the way the hoofs have like a little, you know, hoof part to it. I don't know what to call that, the way that the nail of the hoof comes down or whatever. So this is her extra long sock on that leg. And then this foot has like an angled change of color. And I don't know that I put it in the right position, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not overthinking it. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it go. So her head, I don't think is as wobbly as the other one, as the purple one. When I stuffed it, I had, it doesn't, this, as much as I love this and it's very, very soft, when you frog it, it changes the look of the yarn. So I decided instead of just trying to reuse that, I used it as stuffing. So there's not about this size, you know, a frogged piece that I put in at the right at the base of the neck. So hopefully to keep that from being too wobbly. And I think it did okay. And I put some blue eyes. These eyes that I got are all different shades of blue, all different colors of blue. So I didn't think it looked right with no color in there, even so. It, you know, her eyes are like black, beautiful black eyes, and I didn't think that these were that they looked okay without putting the blue on there. I was going to try to not put the blue on there so it looked a little bit closer to her, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy to have, you know, finally done it. I wanted to take it over there for so long, and time just kept getting in my way trying to, you know, find the yarn. So yeah. And when I bought the yarn, it was, I don't know if it was like 30% off or something. I think they're $9.99 or something, and I only paid like $6.99 for it, so I thought that was cool too. So yay. Okay guys, so things are going to be changing around here a little bit. My time is not my own, you know. I want to do certain things with my time. I want to do certain things with my channel, and life is just, you know, real life. This isn't a moneymaker for me. You know, I earn very, very, very little on the monetization. You get to that point where you're like, yay, I'm going to be monetized. And then it's just like kind of trickling in. It's not changing my budget at all. So I have to keep that in perspective when I'm stressing myself out about getting a video out. You know, when I first started my channel, I was forcing myself to get out 2 videos a week or a video every 4 days. And, you know, then I got down to just 1 a week. And now here it is the middle of the day on Saturday, and I just barely got this one thrown together. So I don't want to just throw videos together for you. I want to be able to really present you with something better than that. So this is where, you know, it's nice to say, please like and subscribe, you know, support my channel, whatever. But this is the part where I'm asking you to subscribe. If you'd like my videos at all, please do subscribe, because I'm not going to be putting them out on a regular basis, I don't think, anymore. And so hopefully, I mean, I'd like to stay once a week, but I don't promise that I can do that anymore. I've got to let it go and just be able to bring a more substantial video to you when I want to. So that's what's going on with me. We didn't get our vacation done, or the vacation was taken, but we didn't go anywhere. We stayed. It was a staycation. And that's another thing, like, you know, you try to make a schedule and things get interrupted between vehicle issues and then your own. And then my kids have vehicle issues, so then they have to borrow my car. So then we have no car. And, you know, so life is just definitely lifing. So we're going to be at the point where my son has to buy a new car, or, you know, new to him. It'll definitely be a used car or a previously owned, however you want to say that. And so let's make some fun. So let's talk some fun, I mean. So our staycation, we, again, you know, wanting to go camping, wanting to take the RV, having a truck truck issues. It wasn't going to happen. So luckily the RV park was kind enough to just shift our reservations and put them to another few weeks from now when I have another vacation week coming up from work. So hopefully everything's going to be in line for that. But in the meantime, so for our anniversary, we decided to go and kind of do something each day. So the first day on our anniversary, we went to a place that was called Adventures of Intrigue, I think it was. It's like an escape room, except it's a giant warehouse that's like all the rooms are together. So he basically gave us a storyline that we had to follow, and it was marked with a certain emblem. And then as we walk around to each of the rooms in our storyline that are through this giant warehouse, we see other people walking around and doing their own, their own adventures. And so when you'd find something in that room and it would tell you part of the clue, and then you'd go on to the next room in your storyline and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. We definitely enjoyed ourselves. When we were leaving, they told us that it was one of the adventures that had more riddles to solve or more puzzles to solve, which that was really, really cool. But I don't want to go and spend all this money and then only have, a few riddles to answer. So we definitely do want to go again. Our adventure line was only a difficulty level 2, but they go up to 4 or 5, I think. So, and some of them require more people to begin with. So I don't know how that might work, but that would be fun, like for a foursome or up to 8 people or whatever. So we definitely do want to go back again and do one of the others. They have like a dozen different adventures. So that was our fun day. The next day we went to a place called the Lazarus Pinball Museum. So it's just this little shop. You don't pay, it's not a shop, you're not buying. You are, so we paid $10 for an hour, and then they have other price tiers. And it was all you can play pinball machines, and there were a couple of regular video games, like I played Mrs. Pac-Man, and I think like Galaga was there, Joust was there. That was one of my husband's favorite games growing up. So, but just pinballs, all different kind of levels, all different kind of styles, all throughout the years. So that was really fun. For about 45 minutes, we were like, okay, are you done? Yeah, I'm done. I think that's the end of it. I don't know that we'll be back there, but it was definitely fun to go and see all the other gray haired people like us hanging around. Okay, so the third day was kind of a bust. We had decided that we wanted to go to an indoor miniature golf because it's still like 1,000 degrees outside. So we wanted to go to an indoor miniature golf, and there's one, like, I call everything downtown. If it's in St. Louis, it's downtown. So there's one downtown that's like black light and all super cool colors and all neato pisquito, as my mom might say. But it's downtown, and we don't love to go downtown. So my husband says, oh, there's one in the Mid Rivers Mall. It was like an hour drive from us, so it was farther than going downtown, but at least we didn't have to go downtown. But it's inside of a mall. And I thought, oh, well, is it like the whole top floor of the mall? Or, I just went. I didn't ask questions. I didn't argue. I'm letting him drive, right? So we get there, and it is like the size of one small store. And I'm like, is this it? Because you can see all of the holes. And both my husband and the guy goes, no, there's another back room. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I wasn't really counting or paying attention to the number of the hole that we were on. But there was in that one small, regular sized store, there was 16 holes. There was only 2 in the back room, and we were done in like 10 minutes. And so he's like, today's free play. You can play as many times as you like to. And I'm like, I barely could stand going through the 18 that we went through. I'm not playing it again. There was a lady there with her 5-year-old, if that tells you anything. So that was kind of funny. That was like a total bust. And then he regretted that he didn't follow my request to go downtown and play the big one. So he's like, he found it online, and he's like, oh, look at this one. I go, that's the one I was trying to take us to. So we have that still on the horizon to do. We didn't get that done this time, but so yeah, so looking forward to doing the vacation, the camping trip again. And in a couple of weeks here. And I actually have a longer time off of work as well, because the kids are going out of town. So I'm completely free for like Friday to Monday, you know, a week later Monday. So I love that. I love that for me. So we'll just have like 4 nights at the place that we had already made reservations for last time, that are forwarding our reservations for this time. So we have another like half a week to plan for something else. And so we're going to come home, and then we're going to head out for something else as well. So I'm still working on that shawlette that I said I was making with my Leading Men Fiber Arts intermissions. I have frogged out sections and redone them multiple times, so that will be a video all of its own. But that is still something that I'm working on in the background. So couldn't wait to get the horsey done and take her over to my neighbors and say thank you for all the eggs and the kindness and the friendliness and the support and the family feel that we give to each other. So all right, guys, I hope everything's doing well in your neck of the woods. Please do remember to subscribe if you want to follow my videos, because I don't know when I'm going to post on a regular basis anymore. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I do hope you'll come back and see me again. Bye-bye.